We'll see here. Looks like the bans kind of remain the same here. Barbara's Fan Club banning
they're just
Zach
coming out,
first.
machine gun, ban.
And the Rams might actually. It's really funny. You might see the Rams if they want.
There's a Yone respect, man. There it is.
Yeah, that's the only change I really saw coming from this Game 3 adaptation. They might pick their 80 carry, and if they do, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Zaya. I think the Zaya would be really good. If Barbara's Fan Club decide to grab the Nautilus, the Zaya is really good anti-dive.
So, yeah, because like when you go Lethality Zaya with Airy, it also kind of supplements like we know Zaya is kind of short range to auto, so that's why you go Lethality, because then you
actually
don't
outrange Jinx at that point.
Yeah, you actually outrange other ADCs. So, Ezreal blind
pick. So we have a first pick Ezreal.
That's interesting.
What that tells me right now, that tells me that Rams are playing weak side bot, and that also tells me that Barbara's Fan Club is more than likely going to be doing the same thing. Right, the Seraphine pick is a low econ bot laner. More than likely, it's going to go 80 carry again. We can assume. It might not. It's still a flex pick technically, but the Ezreal, whenever you draft that, usually it's a really safe pick, and not much is going to change from the side of Barbara's Fan Club. You know what? To be honest, I've also ran this Seraphine Nautilus lane many times too on the team that I play with, and I think it's really strong. So I like what Barbara's Fan Club has done here. Game 2 and Game 3 are going to remain the same. They're going to have a lot of agency. So we'll see what Rams decide to do with their B2B3. I'm expecting a support and jungle pick here. That's what I'm thinking.
Honestly, Alistar, I really like this.
I like
Alistar.
I'm a little scared.
Super flexible.
I'm a little scared, and why I'm scared is because Silas is up. I don't know if Barbara's Fan Club plays it. I'm a big fan of Alistar too. But
Silas is so nice here. But this is a Nocturne jungle this time for Dissipate. So this is a bit of a different tune here. It's not that different from the first game, but it is pretty different. Like if you can farm, Rengar is still up too. They changed Rengar so the crit on his empowered Q goes through, and the Kindred is also up.
Yeah, and now they banned the Yone, right? They banned the Yone third, and instead of that, instead of the Kindred ban, so that leaves it open.
The Shiv pick. So
Delightful Shyvana was really, really, really good. I think he ended up running against a Volibear as well last week. First Spectre Gaming, and he ended up popping off 8-0 and 8. So we'll keep an eye out on that. That doesn't surprise me. I thought I'd see that in Game 1 or Game 2, to be honest. But the Mordekaiser, I should have known that he busts that out. He did end up picking that for Spectre Gaming. So we'll see a couple bans here from Barbara's Fan Club and what they elect to ban.
Played it against a Jarvan.
Was against a Jarvan?
It was a Jarvan. 8-0-9
I'm old
to 0-5 and 9. So Vex going to be the ban here. Probably expect to see the same mid lane bans from both sides.
Yeah, the Vigard to round it out.
Yeah, and then the second ban? It was Yone last time then. So curious to see what this fifth ban here is for the Rams. So yeah Vigard here again.
Doesn't have to be jungle.
Yeah, honestly, you have to ban that Vigard because with an Alistar Nocturne, you're pretty much just setting him up so hard there. So yeah, Vigard going to be banned out. So curious to see. Yeah, Shen ban out this time.
I like
this is big.
Well, actually, one thing to take quick note of, the Shen ban is good, but the Nocturne is actually a counter to the Shen, so that's definitely a respect ban. So if you Nocturne R, I believe, as far as I know, you can't actually Shen R.
Yeah, you cannot Shen R. Period.
Even portraits at the bottom right.
Even if you click it.
So it is a counter. They do elect just to ban it instead. They just say, we don't want to deal with the Shen, and it definitely changes the pace of the game. Because if you took a bit of a memory or a bit of a trip down memory lane in the second game, the Rams ended up focusing topside really hard. They camped that Shen, and you don't always see that, but I get why they did it. The Jax pick though, that's a blind Jax. That's blind.
I am a Jax player. I love Jax. Jax doesn't do terrible blind. It's not optimal, but it's not too bad. If you let Jax free farm forever, because for what Patrick Jones does is he's not bad in the side lane. He does really well in the side lane. WCU Rams going to be a little bit late for this R4 and Malphite, not very optimal because it's just Shyvana and a Seraphine. Lots of AP damage coming out, lots of range, lots of burst. But into a Jax, early game it's not too bad, but you're going to get outscaled. That's the only problem. But Malphite is very nice here. So not going to lie, I would expect an AP Malphite.
You might see a bit of AP. We'll have to see entirely. I like the Victor. I really like the Victor pick.
Victor
And there's
and
the
the Silas
Silas.
there. Yeah. Oh yeah, I
Oh,
forgot
it's
Silas,
definitely true.
Malphite, Nocturne, Alistair.
We talked about that's right. We talked about the Silas going through on R3. And they ended up picking Shyvana, and we completely forgot about it. And so did Rams. They forgot
Yeah,
about it
so
in the second phase
it's
too.
yeah, tank, engage. You
Yep.
get tankier, and you get engage.
Dude,
Or no, it's
That
tankier,
Silas pick.
engage.
That's five. That's five alts that Silas has. Like that's like Nukes has the perfect Silas game. If there's a game for Silas to pop off, it's this one right here. There's so many ultimates that he can pick and choose from at his will and grab whatever he wants. I mean, if he grabs a Malphite ult, the team fight they can win it. If he grabs an Alistar ult, the team fight they can win it. Like it's just, I don't know. I really like that R5 coming out, and we'll have to see. I guess the one thing that you can make a quick note of is that there isn't a lot of AD from the side of Barber's fan club. Right, you've got the Jax, of course, but that's going to take a little bit to scale up. You don't have a traditional AD carry. Your jungle, that's an AP. Obviously, your AP, your bot lane in this case is a Seraphine. So that's the one thing I can take note of. But I really like the draft from Barber's fan club. They played really well there on the neutral objectives too.
Yeah, so like I want to like again, um, Jax, Patrick Jones in that top lane is pretty much it's going to be an island. You're going to be farming a lot against this Malphite. Malphite, I would expect to lean more towards being AP heavy than being tanky because you're not going to tank much. Lots of AP coming out. Like you can probably build a what is it? What's that MR item? I forgot.
Night Harvester?
No,
I mean, you
the
see,
MR item.
MR item?
It's it's not Spirit. No, it's
Force of Nature, Spirit
yeah,
of
Force of
Salvation?
Nature.
Okay.
Yeah, you build a Force of Nature, then you'll be kind of fine. But otherwise, you want to go. I would lean towards being AP heavy. You want to be that big engage that's going in with the Nocturne Alistair. Nocturne has two buddies he can go down with. And so you want to look for that, or you just want to look for those big CC chains when Shyvana, Jax, and Silas are diving in with Nautilus, and then Seraphine's ulting on the backside. So you have options here,
Yeah,
but
Ram's comp too. The composition is designed to create havoc. Once the lights go out, as soon as Nocturne presses R, then the Rams are really going to look to engage, and that's when the Alistar can come online. That's when the Malphite can really take over the game, and that's when that burst from Victor, the AOE that he brings with his ultimate, with his laser, can really make a difference in these team fights. So a lot of it's going to be execution. Early game, both of these junglers want to farm and scale up. Like you have you have a really exciting game three on our hands here. I mean, I'm excited to see this Shyvana too. I know Delightful and Shyvana's really strong. We'll pay close attention to that as things move along. But yeah, expect to see a bit of a slow early game until that six comes around. And once that happens, I think the teams start to come online, and we'll see if the Rams are able to make a play with the Nocturne R, or whether the Barber's fan club is able to stack the neutrals like what they wanted to do in game two and successfully did.
I expect like Nocturne to invade Shyvana a lot.
I think Nocturne will win
Um,
the duel. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. I can't remember the last time I've seen a Shyvana Nocturne matchup in the jungle. So yeah, I think the
so
Nocturne can invade too. I think that's a window.
yeah, Nocturne wins that matchup. Realistically, you want to farm, but Nocturne into Shyvana Farm Fest, Shyvana would win because that's what
Yes,
Shyvana wants.
for
And
sure.
then even then, Shyvana can just take neutral objectives. You want to start on the opposite ends, and then Shyvana just takes objective after objective.
Mhm. And your
Because
job for your
Shyvana
lanes
is
is
yeah.
just to not bleed out. You want your lanes just to stay as stagnant as close to the enemy laners as possible in CS, health, everything. And as long as that happens, yeah, like what you're saying, the Shyvana just takes off.
But like right now, this is game three. This is it for both these teams here. Um, obviously, Barber's Fan Club has a little bit of a scaling advantage. You have Shyvana, Seraphine, and Jax, and then against the Ezreal and Victor.
Mhm.
So
And a lot of it's going to come down to the inside track, who controls the river first. I think a lot of that's going to have to do with it, and I think actually maybe a bit more important than that when it comes to the Rams, it's if they're able to get maybe some deep vision in mid lane, deep vision in bot lane, whatever they are able to go for, or maybe even just the enemy jungle and look for picks with a Nocturne R before the neutrals are up. You know, right around 45 seconds before the dragon's about to spawn, maybe they can look for a Nocturne R, pick somebody off, and that's probably the dream scenario for the Rams because I think with the 5v5 versus Barber's fan club, it might just end up going the way for them. I mean, that Silas has 5 ults that he can pick and choose from, and every single one is good.
Yeah, Barber's Fan Club, they have flexibility in the 5v5, or they can play the split, because nobody is going to match Jax in a split, and you have a lot of options for the engage. You can either engage or play for the counter engage with the Silas. And then for WCU Rams, they want to play for picks. They want to play for just fighting one person and just absolutely obliterating. Because the only person you probably realistically won't completely one-shot is Jax and Silas, and maybe Nautilus. So I really want to see them play for these big picks.
Yeah, I think if the Rams are able to do what they need to do in this game 3, the final game itself, like they have to go for those picks. I don't think they'll have much of a choice because I think again, I've already mentioned it once. I'll mention it one more time. I think they're 5v5. I think they end up losing when it comes to Barber's Fan Club. There's so many variables to League, and that's the best part about it. That's why we all keep coming back because no game is ever the same. But just based on paper, what I'm seeing right now, I think if the Rams are able to get a couple picks like before team fights or just even one pick, then I think it just makes their job exponentially easier. They're able to scale up. It's not like they don't scale. I mean, both teams scale. Ezreal does great damage later. It's just, I mean, they have a Jax and split pushing Jax at that. So yeah, can Nocturne pick that Jax off if he goes for splits? Are they able to find those windows to get those kills when they need to? And if the answer is no, then I think we're going to see Barber's Fan Club run over the game, especially when it comes to mid to late game when lane matchups are so important.
Yeah, man, like there's options for everything. Yeah, scaling. You have split, mostly for Barber's Fan Club. You have scaling, split, you got damage, you got tankiness, you got a little bit of everything. Kingfisher, I want to see that juicy, sweet AP damage. That is going to be real nice. But right now, we're going to be taking a quick little break as we start getting ready for Game 3. And it is going to be win or go home for Barber's Fan Club and WCU Rams. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are in Game 3. Win or go home. WCU Rams versus Barbara's Fan Club. It is going to be a very spicy matchup here. As we see all these a lot of unique picks from across this series so far here. Whoever wins this will advance into the third round of the Gauntlet, where they will fabulously have to take on Trebuchet tomorrow.
That's right, and I believe that's 6 p.m. You guys won't want to miss that one.
6 p.m. EST.
That's right, EST.
So already nothing too crazy here. None of these teams taking chances. As we see, Ahata is paying attention this time around, moving around here.
That's right. I wonder if he clicked on Ahata to take a look if he's leveled up in ability. See if he's just waiting to see if he has to take his E or not.
Nah, it's just like every Ezreal just takes Q always, but
Probably just default Q. Right,
yeah, no risk. Nothing too crazy for summoners or rune choices here.
Nope, nothing really crazy. Both solo laners taking TPs, so you can expect those TPs to be matched, whenever that's the case. The junglers themselves, we talked a bit about it. I think the Nocturne does have a bit of window to invade, but I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say both junglers are going to look for their 6. Just going to look to keep scaling up. And then the bot lane, it's a little bit different this time. No Lulu. No Lulu in sight. We've actually got Daemon on the Alistar, so I'm excited to see him play that. He elects to go for the exhaust this time, so my guess is they're looking to play a bit more safe this bot lane. I think there'd be a couple windows for them to maybe get a couple kills their bot with jungle help, but mid lane could be where a lot of the action happens here.
Nuke's tried to look for that little trade there with the Abscond Abducta, unfortunately. Just takes a little bit of poke there with the autos from Don't
just
Run
missed
It.
Just missed.
Just barely missed the caster walks in front. Looks like bot side here, Rams are going to get a little bit of a push going, but Damon used the stack on the first melee minion, so both sides are going to hit level 2 simultaneously. Nothing too crazy. Looks like Nocturne is clearing from top down for the full clear, and then Shyvana is doing vice versa from bot up. So both junglers are going to be not like what's the word? They're going to be starting opposite of each other.
Yeah, they're going to be mirroring each other for sure.
Or they're going to be is that what it's called, mirroring?
I mean, that's the terminology that I've used.
Mirroring is when they're like matching each other.
Oh, that could be
like,
I could just be wrong. That's always possible too. I could just be using the word wrong.
True, probably. But topside, Patrick Jones looking for those really aggressive trades there, but you know, like usual, that is usually what happens. Malphite usually, yeah, you max into a matchup like this, you max EWQ, because you know your Q ain't gonna do too much to a Jax. Please don't run it. Probably wants to look for a reset. Has no mana. Gonna get the stun off onto the Silas, but yeah, that if you have a wave like that crashing, you probably just want to look for the reset. There's really no point in staying around.
He definitely wants to back here. He's all out of charges now, and actually he doesn't even have any biscuits either, so
Nuke's can definitely take these hard engages there, as Don't Run It has to flash away. So yeah, right when we're talking, that's the caster curse right there. Right when we say it, he has to reset there.
Hey, I mean, Nukes could feel it too. He knew that he had the advantage. He was definitely taking a look, recognized the amount of mana that Don't Run It had, and just knew that he'd win. And he went in and burned a flash, and now we'll see what Delightful decides to do, or Bane too. Maybe Bane takes a look for a chance to roam up towards mid and capitalize on that Victor that now doesn't have his flash.
Yeah, so it looks like 80 HD Delightful gonna get a little bit more of a clear here. Gonna get both of the Scuttle Crabs, so they got nerfed a little while back, so they don't give as much as before, but you know, it's still pretty good. Topside here, Nocturne is going to go here to try to gank this Jax, but you're gonna get pushed in, probably just get your, oh actually I already got the first reset off. So just gonna go back to the jungle here. Shyvana gonna be in this bot side, and Drake's gonna be up in about 20 seconds here, so this should be first Drake going over. As LC Bane gonna get a little damage going down to Hada, gonna get chunked below half HP, so gonna have to be really careful. LC Bane does not care, he's just walking up, but Rams bot lane just hit level 4, so gonna have to be a little careful. Shyvana looking to, okay, not gonna look for the Drake, actually hasn't gotten the first reset off either, so Up about 10 up CS on the Nocturne here. Not going to start the Drake up early quite yet.
Yeah, and we'll see. He's actually gonna pass straight back down bot side, so gets the item there. So picks up the Bomby Cinder, has a control ward, has a sweeper. He's gonna head over to that dragon now. Look to start it. That's my guess. He's
Yeah,
pathing.
going to tank build this game instead of AP. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, actually, we didn't get a chance to talk too much about that, but yeah, elects to go for the PTA. That's something interesting too. That doesn't surprise me. Shyvana can proc that really quick as we have nukes going in again.
Yeah, Nukes doesn't care. You know, you sustain pretty decently with the Corrupting Pot and with your W or your Kingslayer, so it's not too bad, but definitely don't want to take that free chunk there. Going in with the Scondo Duck, doesn't quite land. Takes a tower shot. Gonna have to be really, really careful. Gonna flash on in with the Kingslayer, popping the ultimate there. Gonna get one more chunk, and that's gonna be a solo kill. Nukes with the outplay. The mechanical outplay, the maestro of madness in that mid lane there to get the solo kill onto Don't Run It.
Oh, Nuke's knowing exactly his limit there. Takes a turret shot, almost questionably a bait. It's like he knew the whole time. Opts in to burn his flash, pick up the Victor R, and use it better. Like,
yeah, that's the thing about Silas. You know, you hit level 6, but they don't. Nice job taking advantage of your levels, knowing exactly what kind of damage. As there goes a CC chain onto Ahada there. Gonna get hit with the Q, ignite down, but you still get on out perfectly fine. Pixel will gonna get chunked a little bit, but Asian Damon gonna have to run away here. Should be able to stay pretty well with the Alistair passive, but that's a lot of big chunk there. Ahada has to be really, really careful. Didn't have the E there. So
yeah, both supports opting in to stay more focused on the lane here, and really when it comes down to the lane matchup, like both of these supports, funnily enough, don't want to fight.
Nukes is still going in. Level 7. He's taking advantage of that level lead. Please don't run it. It's just getting absolutely chunked here. You're gonna have to pretty much let this wave just push into you. You cannot like keep pushing this wave like this.
That's
because
right.
because like if you're putting the wave like this, either you have to push it all the way in really fast, or you just have to let it push into you. You just can't be wishy-washy with the wave.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, don't run it, wants this wave to be neutral. Exactly where it is right now. If that ends up getting pushed towards Nukes, and then he could start to zone him, that's when things get really scary. And Dissipate finally gets his 6, so a little bit of pressure has been relieved. I don't think the side of Barber's fan club have seen him yet, so they don't know that, but they know that he's close. That's for sure.
So Patrick Jones gonna take that top scuttle crab, warding a little bit to try to track Dissipate, but Dissipate waiting in that top tri-bush, and the Nautilus roaming mid here, going to get spotted on the minions, but going to walk back, just kind of hovering around that mid lane there. So far, none too wild happening outside of that super wild solo kill in the mid lane. As Drake already went over to the side of Barber's fan club. There's the engage there. I've gotten abducted with the King Slayer. All that chunk going down. Dissipate does have the ultimate, so could look to go in here. Don't Run It does have the gravity field, so could look to bait the dive. As there it is, going into that mid lane. Gonna get feared up, gonna get taken down. Dissipate picking up that kill. Kingfisher gonna get chunked out in that top side. Patrick Jones has to be a little careful. You might get chunked out there. As Patrick Jones looking to go back in here. Mid lane, there's the Shyvana picking up the kill onto the Victor. As Dissipate gonna pick up another kill here. So that's gonna be 2 kills going over to the Nocturne already. That is the start that exactly Barber's fan club wants to happen.
The Rams ending up getting 2 kills there for Dissipate. Something something that you almost don't expect to see, but that first ult comes in, and they're able to make the plays happen. They end up getting the kill on Nukes, taking him down first. Delightful following in afterwards, ending up missing his E in the transformation form there. Bit unfortunate, but he does manage to pick up the 1 kill. The only problem is Dissipate ends up picking up him too. And 2 kills on that Nocturne now. That's scary stuff. His ultimate's over halfway up for the cooldown. He's just going to look to farm up, tell his lanes to stabilize and relax. Hopefully that's going to be the case.
Bot side. Nautilus is almost level 6 here. Needs one more minion. Could start off the combo there. They're waiting in that bush for a while. Barber's fan club's bot lane. They are. Minion's about to die here. One more minion, you hit level 6. Honestly, you just have the Seraphine pop the combo, and bada bing, bada boom. As Ahada does not care. He's just walking up there to get the poke. LC, yeah, they waited really long in that bush. Honestly, if you just pulled the fight in the middle of the wave, you just kill the minions with the Seraphine. damage, and then you hit level 6 and all that. So lots of time wasted in that bush there. Lost a couple CS, but not too much. Gold is pretty much even for both sides. Rift Herald getting claimed by the side of Barba's Fanclub. Malphite is actually roaming here, so this is very interesting. They might look for the dive. They know Nocturne's top side. Nocturne able to hold that wave top because actually it's a free, so Malphite isn't losing anything. So very nice roam here.
Yeah, and we'll see if this wave is going to push towards them, so we'll see if Pixel Wolf and LC Bane end up biting off a little more.
There's the flash forward, there's the flash set, as that's a kill onto the Seraphine. Once again, flashed out. Spider Nautilus getting out there as Asian Damon using the flash. Kingfisher actually flashed also, probably didn't need to, but that's going to be two big flashes there, but get a kill and you secure the Drake in that bot side. That's gonna be a first Drake going over to the side of WCU Rams, as Jax is in the top side and Shyvana has the Rift, so that's gonna be a lot of gold funneled into that Jax.
That's right, that's gonna be the answer from Barba's Fanclub. They're gonna head towards this top side here, maybe end up putting down this Herald. I won't be surprised. There they do, and then they're gonna collect a few plates for themselves, and that'll be their response. So they trade Dragon for a few plates. More importantly, though, Pixel Wolf and LC Bane going down there. So really good roam by Kingfisher, burning his TP to get back to the top lane. He doesn't miss that much. He doesn't miss that much at all. So really good heads-up play by him.
Yeah, they didn't lose much either. So very nice. Yeah, he got that entire wave, and he denied the third plate from falling there. So very nice job with the roam, or the roam and the teleport. So yeah, maxing the E first here. So that is going to attack speed slow
literally
is really
slow. Yep.
Yeah, is really debilitating. It's a 50% attack speed reduction, level 5. So Shyvana is at that top side. Don't expect this kill to go over too much. I mean, you pop the Q, you run away. I mean, yeah, you get
can't
out
auto.
scot-free.
He can't auto.
Yeah, I told you, it is the build. Especially if nobody's building attack speed. So like just for reference, the base attack speed right now for Shyvana is 0.91 autos a second. So you're basically doing like 2.5 autos per second. That is, doing 2.5 autos, or you're doing like half an auto every second.
And you can see it's just the animation was so slow, he couldn't even end up getting one in there. So yeah, you can definitely feel it. You can really feel it. And he actually ends up going with the Frostfire Gauntlet, so delightful. I remember he ended up going with that build, with that item first last time too, and he does a crazy amount of damage even after. So we'll see. He might go the Demonic Embrace. I believe that's what he got second last time. We'll pay close attention to that. The Nocturne R is up this time. Now, Dissipate just cleared up the top side. He's going to path down towards bot here, I imagine. At least in this general direction. And then
they're going to look to stockpile this bot lane here. Once again, Ezreal does not have flash. Alistar does not have flash. Absalom's not going to land. But very nice combo to delay it. As Pixel Wolf going to get chunked down to about half HP. Encore going to hit onto 2. There goes the combo. Nautilus hold onto the Ezreal, but it ain't going to be enough. There goes Nocturne. He's about to go in there, but the Shyvana's waiting in the wings. Let's see if they bait it in. Nukes does have the ultimate. Alsconum's not going to land onto the Ezreal. He's going to get out there as the Nocturne goes straight onto the Seraphine with the paranoia. Please don't run it. Got to take down Nukes on the front lines there as ADHD trying to trade one as fast as he can. Sunderer is still going through a hot hide out as much as he can, but the Sunderer is going to heal up enough. There goes 2 kills going over to Dissipate, and that is going to be a 4-for-1 in favor of WCU Rams in the bot side fight.
And that's a wash. They should be able to pick up the turret on this part. Yep, the plates end up going down. They'll grab the first brick for this. And yeah, it's a 4-for-1. Like, it could be more happy than that. Dissipate, having the knowledge, having the presence of mind to hold that R for a little bit longer. He was in range for a long time, and then opting to go into the Seraphine, zoning Pixel Wolf away from that fight entirely, and then that allowed Don't Run It to end up picking up nukes on the back end there. Ahad Abide bought so much time by staying alive for as long as what he did. Still actually didn't even going down. So, I mean, perfect execution from the side of the Rams. They're really happy with the way that this game's going, and it's netted them like a 2.3k gold lead at this point. So, the Rams are in a great position. What they really need to do now is wait for Dissipate's ultimate to be back up, look to force another engage around that, and pick a fight on their terms. And that's their job here, and we'll see if they're able to execute that.
Yeah, that was just really, really nice stuff for the side of WCU Rams, man. Like, Dissipate pretty much 2v1 that entire time. Unfortunately, the Barbers fan club, they were just completely split. You know, instead of peeling for the backline, they were just dying 2v2 to the Alistair and the Ezreal combination there. You know, Alistair doing a very nice job healing. And with the Sunder and no heal cut, he's going to heal a lot and going to be able to kite out pretty easily with the Alistair helping. So there goes the third Drake coming up here in about 40 seconds. And Jackson's starting to walk down. So this is going to be a big 5v5 team fight.
One more little thing to point out too, Dissipate ended up holding his ultimate for as long as what he did, because he ended up wanting to save it just for the paranoia effect, the quite literal paranoia, not being able to see the fight that's happening. Comms get really, really clunky when that happens, when you're not able to see what's going on in a team fight, and that's what ended up happening there. Pixel Wolf got forced away, they didn't recognize that, and that's what led to that 4-for-1. That ultimate brings a lot of value to the game. It's really scary to play around. Arguably a more scary Shen.
Surprisingly, Cleanse actually breaks the darkness effect, so, or like any kind of like spell shields and stuff like that. So like Banshee's Field breaks it, but doesn't get proc if I remember. The second Drake going over to the side of Rams here. It's going to be an Ocean Soul. It's only about 2k, a little under 2k gold. They actually got the second Herald, and they're going to pop it the second one top also. So they're pretty much funneling this Jax. The Malphite has 3 armor items. He has a Bramble, a Warden's Mail, and a Steel Caps. So honestly, top side probably didn't need to use the Herald. I mean, that was about to break anyway, so that's kind of a waste of a Herald. Bot side there, it's going to be a 1v1. Nuke's going to pop the ultimate. It's going to be a mirror of ultimates, but the Ascon Abduct is going to land, and that's going to be the solo kill once again. Please don't run it. He is 1-4-4. It is not a fun time. Mid lane is going to be the CC chain. Oh my god, all the CC coming down. Ahada is nearly going to get taken out, but he's still kiting. He's still running. And he's going to get shut down by RenoDaNerd with the anchor. But Dissipate going to get taken down by the, or Dissipate going to take down the Seraphine once again here. The combo coming out once again onto the Nautilus as Dissipate's going to try to get out, but the flash is a little bit too late. There goes ADHD the Lightful picking up that big shutdown. LC Bane picking up a kill on the Asian Damon with the hook. As Fisher, you're probably gonna die here. Does have the ultimate, but Ascon Abduct fade away. Ascon Abduct lands the slow, nearly lands the stun there from the Jax, but Kingfisher forced to use the flash out. And that is a lot of big cooldowns going down and lots of trades. It's still almost completely even. Or the gold lead gets a little bit closer there.
And how
as
about
it's going to be about 700.
Hey, how about that engage from Bane too? I mean, throwing out the hook, predicting the E out from Ezreal, actually landing that, then ended up solo killing him there in the back line, and then still somehow managing to get out. So he survived after all of that. Pretty crazy engage there, being forced by LC Bane, and things worked out really, really well for them. So now, going for
Blade. Gonna have to be careful. Patrick Jones is gonna have to go into a 2v1, doesn't have the counter strike anymore. You're gonna get knocked up, stunned up, and you're gonna get taken down. True shot barrage coming through, but it ain't gonna do you enough. Patrick Jones, you're flashing, but you ain't getting nothing. As Dissipate is actually getting it, and he nearly gets a 2v1 once again. But it is going to be a kill going over to Dissipate here with a full stack lethal tempo.
If Jax was just a little bit stronger, which he's going to become in no time, already picking up the pickaxe, he could have done that. He could have gone 1-for-1 there.
He had the counter strike at the beginning. He actually would have won that straight up out. But yeah, you used it a little early there to get the stun instead. You know, that's a little wasteful. You want to keep that up as long as possible, and possibly, you know, if you time it correctly, you get 2 procs of Sheen when you do.
Patrick Jones almost coming out on top of that there. 1-for-1 would have been the dream.
Asian Damon? Oh, he almost got it. He almost
Don't headbutt just a Paul. I've done that many a time. Damon just kind of walking away, tail between his legs, and I'm back down the bot side. He'll try that again in no time. And Nuke's ending up matching Don't Run It here on the bot side, and I think that's actually pretty good for both teams. I think
he went for
solo.
He went for a Blighting Jewel second, so he's going for a Void Staff second item actually. So that you don't see that very often for Xylos. Usually see like a lot more kind of like the bruisery build with the you usually get like a, it depends, but you usually get like another health item.
Yeah, you can see
Cosmic Drive, that's what it's called.
You can see that, the Void Staff, the option right there, I'm not entirely sure it's necessary. They're not building a lot of MR at all. I mean,
Oh,
It's
Nocturne
not
going for
it's not
the
bad.
Spirit Visage? That's very
Okay,
interesting.
this is the Spirit Visage. Yeah, okay, so fair. I guess there's a bit right there, right? We'll factor in that. That's 40 MR. But even still, I think the option for the Cosmic Driver, or really any
Oh.
other item from Nukes might have been better.
Topside, Patrick Jones steals away the Gromp there, gonna very much just force the fight completely. Asian Damon is here, but
They don't
I'm
win
getting
this.
a phone call, so I'm gonna have to go quick.
And Asian Damon going in, but they definitely did not win this. Patrick Jones walking away, and he's definitely out if he wants. Ezreal's coming around the back foot, Kingfisher going in and landing the R, following up with a Nocturne R2. He's not getting out after all, is he? And he's going to go down a 1v4. And what does Barbara's fan club decide to do in response here? They're going to head towards this mid lane. Looks like they're going to get this mid pushed in. They've already got some vision set up towards bot side, and it looks like they're going to be contesting this dragon here. Fourth dragon, as it stands right now, looking to go over to the side of Barbara's fan club. Kingfisher did elect to burn his ultimate to get the kill on Patrick Jones. And up, being sniffed out. Almost connecting, and welcome back.
As a already saw a couple wacky things going on here already early. You know, get that nice little pick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jack's going a little bit too deep there. You know, just constantly getting baited, but using the teleport to come into this fight now, as it is going to be a 5v5 on the Drake, but that is going to be the second Drake, or the fourth Drake going over to the side of Barbara's fan club, pretty much uncontested here.
The Drake score
right
is now 2 for I mean the Drake score is now 2 for 2. So what I expect now is I actually expect both teams, since Soul isn't really on the table for the next at least 10 minutes. I expect both teams to be focusing more towards topside and getting control over that Baron, because I think the priority on that Baron is going to accelerate a lot now. I mean, had Rams have been able to grab that dragon and be on Soul Point, then things might have changed quite a bit, but unlike Game 1 and unlike Game 2, the pace of this one's changing a little bit different, so don't be surprised if both teams elect to put more vision towards topside, maybe look to get a couple picks around there too. We've seen the Paranoia being used a couple times now going towards Patrick Jones, and I think that's the right play. I just think it's going to get to a point when that Jax is actually able to get out of that too. I don't know if they'll have enough damage to be able to kill him. And we'll really see, because I think that's going to be paramount to whether or not Barbara's fan club is able to take things down. They were able to get that second dragon because the Rams sent 4 people topside. That's why they were able to grab it. They rotated down bot side while all of that was happening, set up vision, and then they had the inside track on River. So pay attention to little things like that. That Paranoia is absolutely everything right now for the side of the Rams.
So right now, it is still completely even. Nothing really going over to either side. Malphite going for the Frozen Heart first item here. So for two champions that are pretty reliant on attack speed, that's going to be pretty detrimental. Jack's going for the second item Death Dance here. And the Shyvana going for the second item Bork. So lots of percent health damage going through onto that Nocturne, Alistar, and Malphite. And it looks like lots of focus to go into that bot side to try to break down that mid-tier 1, because with that mid-tier 1 still up, it gives a lot of priority, keeps the map pretty close to the side of WCU Rams. They have it somewhere a little closer to retreat to, but it's still 1 for 1 in tower, 2 for 2 in Drakes. It's like it is dead even for both sides. Right
yeah,
now,
this is as close can be, for sure.
As ooh, 80. Delightful gonna look for a flash out from Don't Run It. You're gonna look for the hard dive here. That's the red smite, and there goes the Paranoia to the bot side, going on to the Silence.
Well.
And there goes the True Shot Barrage, gonna hit the Silence, or the Nocturne. Or this, yeah, the Silence, but Nukes is gonna use the ult to get on out there. But there's Pixel Wolf gonna escort his mid laner out to safety, and that is a nice outplay. Shyvana actually also gets out. Ahada using the flash there. The Lock of the Solar are gonna be popped to keep ADHD Delightful alive, and everybody on the side of Barbara's fan club gets out scot-free.
That almost felt criminal. It almost feels like they should be locked away right now, but they're not. They end up escaping that, and they're they're beyond elated. Like, oh, that hook almost connecting 2 on Ahada. So close.
Oh, Asian Damon almost stole away that blue buff. He actually almost stole that away. That would have been criminal.
Had that headbutt Paul ended up coming through, I think that could have been a kill. I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity there. I think Damon would be kicking himself for that one, but I think he'll be okay. I think he'll bounce back just fine.
Honestly, with the Victor, probably would have went Leandri's, but obviously you do want that utility there. I mean, you have the Void Staff second item. Probably could have went for the. You're getting dove a lot, so you probably could have went for the Zonias. Probably want a little more safety. There's like almost there is no MR items on the side of Barbarous Fanclub, so probably didn't need to do that. As a bot lane, that's another. Yeah, that Zonias would have been helpful as Nuke's flashing in there to get the solo kill with the auto attack. Ahada gonna buffer the hook there with the essence, the shift, arcane shift. And top lane there, Patrick Jones again looking for that fight. Oh, the snipe. That was a cheesy snipe. Big shutdown going over to the side of Ahada. Gonna stay in that mid lane, you know. But it's still dead even, man. Nothing is happening. It is just both teams trading back and forth. This is like the most even it has been for a while. It has been 26 minutes of just back and forth. Next Drake is gonna. This is gonna be Drake. Soul point for either side that gets this Drake. This is going to be huge. So both sides gonna start resetting, gonna start getting their items. Malphite, I think, yeah, when Malphite resets here, gets his a mythic item here. So finally, lots of big item points coming out here. There's the Force of Nature from the Shyvana, and so this is pretty much, this is gonna be the fight that makes or breaks this game right now.
It definitely can. I mean, if one team ends up getting wiped, there's no doubt there's going to be a Baron on top of this soul point. So, I mean, both teams are posturing and getting ready for this. But we see that Barbarous Fanclub has the inside track already, so they have the setup on River. And pay attention to Don't Run It. He's not with the team at the moment. Neither's Kingfisher, and they're looking to get a fight.
Coming into this. There he goes. Doesn't go in, but there's a knock on the 3. But Malphite straight onto the backline. 2-man knockouts all over the place. Everything's on the bounce house as everybody is right into the thick of it all. Jack's trying to do as much as he can, or Ahada is trying to do as much as he can, but he's getting taken out by the Shyvana. It's already 2-0 in favor of the side of WCU Rams, and everybody's getting absolutely destroyed. And it is going to be a clean ace for the side of Barbarous Fanclub, and they are going to look for this Baron. They're going to look to push these towers.
Wait, what just happened? Like, so many ults, so many dashes, so many jumps being burned there, and then it ends up being a 5-0? Nobody going down inside of Barbarous Fanclub? They absolutely wipe it. Just like I mentioned before, that fight ends up going down. If one team destroys the other team in that team fight, then the Baron is up for grabs too. But not just that, they recognize they have the presence of mind to put Patrick Jones mid as well to collect that T2 turret. So now, right off of that, Barbarous Fanclub is massively ahead. We were talking about it a little bit ago, less than what, 2 minutes ago, how even the gold was, and now take a look at it. Over 3.5, or 3.5, over 6.5k difference, just from that alone. That's crazy. Patrick Jones, maybe biting off a little bit more than he can chew here. We'll see. He's a Jax, but he's definitely going to get caught out here.
Oh yeah, Jax gonna get dogpiled there. That's the Shyvana to help. Shyvana does have the ultimate. And Asian Damon nearly getting destroyed, going back in with the headbutt, just gonna have a CC knockup fest. ADHD gonna still get feared up and might get taken down here. 2-shot barrage coming down onto 3, and they're gonna have to be really careful. They're just gonna get out for free. There's no way they get out for free, and they just go. They're running. ADHD Delightful could possibly heal, but using the speed up there. Roots under the tower. Silas is still splitting onto the side lane. As Kingfisher and Please Don't Run It. They're deep. They are real deep. LC Bane, you're gonna take a little bit of damage here for the Ezreal 1v1, but you don't have Flash. You're pretty dead here as Ahada is just landing every single skill shot, going forward with the arcane shift, gonna get that shutdown. So wasting a lot of time there. And Patrick Jones is here, does use the teleport to get into the backside. Kingfisher is really tanky. Nobody's getting onto Ahada, so you're gonna have to be really careful. As arcane shift over the wall, Kingfisher still trying to run away, but you use the counter strike, you deny all the damage, and Patrick Jones is on a killing spree. His ADHD is Delightful, is gonna go straight onto Ahada. That's gonna be a solo kill. Does have the ultimate still, and doesn't even need to use it. Nuke's going in there, doesn't quite get the root of Scott Duck going in, and that's going to be the Elcor onto 2, and that's going to be it. That is the game. That is Barbarous Fanclub advancing to round 3 of the Gauntlet as they look to end this game, breaking the base open finally at 29 minutes of Scott Duck once again landing onto Don't Run It for like umpteen times in this game as ADHD Delightful looking to zone out Don't Run It, so he does not get a chance to go to his base and defend it, and that is going to be it. It is going to be a 2-1 victory for the side of Barbarous Fanclub, and they will advance to round 3 of the Gauntlet.
And that game was close until it wasn't. That 5th dragon fight,
that one dragon
crazy. Yep, that soul point ended up going down. the side of the Rams ended up getting wiped. A 5-0, which I don't know how you even casted that team fight. It was so back and forth. There's so many things happening. I just remember Nukes ending up stealing the Malphite R and then going back into the backline with it. And I remember that. And then seems like I blanked out. And then 5 people were dead on the side of the Rams. The Baron went down. They pushed mid, and before you knew it, the game was over. That seems like what happened. I guess really at the end of the day, Barbara's fan clubs just scaled. They got to the point where they needed. They got the Jacks ahead. I mean, they camped the Jacks as much as they could, the Rams, but it just got to a point when they just couldn't do nearly as much as what they needed to, and you could start to see it. Because the one play when they tried, right around the level 9, level 10 mark, would dissipate, ended up R'ing towards that Jax, Patrick Jones on the top side, and they had to send 4 people to take him down. Like, that's a scary sign of things to come. And the Malphite's there as a plug. He's there to prevent the leak. He's not there to really deal with it. Like, eventually, the Jax is going to start to get ahead. He's going to start to scale. And by that point, you start to win the split. And then all of the pressure, all of the potential that you have with Dissipate's ultimate starts to go away. So at the end of the day, really healthy draft from Barbara's fan club. Keep in mind, they B4'd that Jax too. So they actually blind picked it. They willingly blind picked that. So the response to it was just not enough at the end of the day, and I think that was one of the major things. I mean, on top of that too, and you got to give a big shout out to Nukes too. I think Nukes played absolutely out of his mind there, and he did end up finishing off the Cosmic Drive there towards the end. So Bill gets an S plus from me now. I'm happy, and I think Nukes is pretty happy with his play.
Nukes, the moment Nukes went mid lane, this whole game, this whole series went sideways. Like, just him being in that mid lane putting, don't run it all the way down. Like, both games, game 2s and 3, he just got put down. There was nothing he could do, man. Like, oh, he just got completely dogpiled.
The Yone got ahead.
By the singular dog, just got absolutely just dumpstered. Like, there's no other way to say it. Like, Nukes just kept going in. There's nothing that the rest of the team could do about it.
I think we can point out a couple things. I think you and I talked very briefly about the matchup, and then more importantly, the itemization. I think the itemization probably from both mid champions there could have been a bit different. Maybe it could have been a bit better. Get some better value for the gold that they had. Opting in for the Void Staff there secondary. I think there's a couple other options that they could have gone for, but
yeah, like,
at the end of the day,
both sides could have went for a Demonic Embrace at least. Like, that's a little more practical. Like, there's almost no MR at the times they got those. Like, you can just sit on a Blightstone, and then you just itemize for like burn or damage over time or anything like that. But like,
we did see the Cosmic Drive come in. I think the Leandries could have been an option for the Victor as well, but that's all just nitpicking at the end of the day, and realistically that's not what ended up costing the game. It's just something that you can point out and take note of for future games and future, I guess, references. But yeah, long story short, a huge congratulations goes out to Barbara's fan club. I mean, they played excellent here. Game 1, they got beat down. They made a couple of changes. They swapped Nukes from ADC, put him towards mid, and put Pixel Wolf onto the Seraphine, which I think was an awesome decision. A lot of the encores that she was putting out there really came in clutch, especially towards the end there to close out that Game 3. That encore that came from downtown all the way across, it was insane. It's basically at their tier 2 turret mid lane. Ended up going through and hitting them. So pretty insane stuff from pretty much everybody in the side of Barbara's fan club. I think you got to give another shout out to LC Bane as well. I think he played pretty dang well. Some of the hooks that he was landing were a bit nutty, and he ended up solo killing like 2 people that game. So that's just the power of Nautilus for you.
Yeah, man. Like, so what? Now tomorrow it's going to be Barbara's
Fan
Fan Club versus Trebuchet at 6 p.m. EST, and
That's
that
right.
is going to be a very, very interesting matchup. Obviously, don't know too much about them, but both of them are completely even in match win-loss, and they both have, obviously the same amount of points and all that. So they're pretty similar. So it's gonna be very interesting to see because definitely Rams gave them a bit of a run for their money, but they were very easily able to adapt very quickly after one game, and they pretty much just completely swept them after that. So
And I think Trebuchet is also probably paying attention to this game too to see how Barbara's fan club decides to play. I mean, they're definitely taking notes here, recognizing that Nukes ended up going mid, couple little things like that. So I would be surprised to see if they end up putting some adaptations too. So I think tomorrow's series is going to be really interesting. I think everybody should pay close attention to that when Barbara's Fan Club does end up going against Trebuchet. See if they're able to recognize and kind of rewrite some of the wrongs that maybe the Rams did in this series, or at least to their own opinions. So yeah, I mean, lots of great League of Legends left to be played here, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, but that's going to be it from us, man. Like this was a pretty hard fought series that in the end Barbara's Fan Club takes it all. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST as I will once again be here tomorrow to stream or to cast with one of my other friends, and we're going to be seeing what happens. See if Barbara's Fan Club can run the entire gauntlet, or if Trebuchet is going to poop on their party. So that's going to be it from us tonight. And we'll be seeing y'all later. Have a good Easter holiday, and we'll be back tomorrow for more League of Legends.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Have yourselves a great night.